The vegetable that changed the world. Imagine a world without potatoes. No French fries, no potato chips, no mashed potatoes, no hash browns. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? Today, potatoes are one of the most widely eaten foods on Earth. Every year, billions of people enjoy them in hundreds of different dishes. But the potato is much more than a simple vegetable. It has shaped civilizations. It has fueled empires. It has saved millions of lives. It has also been at the center of one of history's greatest human tragedies. This is the incredible history of the potato. Our story begins more than 8,000 years ago, high in the Andes Mountains of South America, in what is now Peru and Bolivia. Life in these mountains was challenging. The climate was cold. The land was rocky. Growing food was difficult. Yet the people who lived there discovered a remarkable plant growing wild among the hills. Its underground tubers were small and bitter. They weren't like the potatoes we know today. Over many generations, farmers carefully selected the best plants. Year after year, they planted the strongest and tastiest potatoes. Slowly, they transformed a wild plant into a reliable source of food. This was one of the earliest examples of crop domestication in human history. For these early communities, the potato meant survival. Unlike many crops, it could grow in poor soil. It survived freezing temperatures. It produced large amounts of food from relatively small pieces of land. That made it incredibly valuable. Little did they know, this humble crop would one day feed billions of people around the world. Centuries later, another civilization would unlock the potato's full potential. The Inca Empire. The Incas built one of the greatest civilizations in the Americas. Their empire stretched across thousands of kilometers. Much of this success depended on agriculture. The potato became one of their most important crops. The Incas built impressive farming terraces into the mountainsides. These terraces prevented soil erosion. They also made farming possible on steep slopes. The Incas developed an ingenious way to preserve potatoes. They left them outside during freezing nights. Then they dried them under the warm mountain sun. The result was a product called chuño. Chuño could last for years without spoiling. It was lightweight, easy to transport, and highly nutritious. It fed soldiers during military campaigns. It helped communities survive harsh winters. Long before refrigerators existed, the Incas had mastered food preservation using nothing more than nature. For the Inca people, the potato wasn't just food. It was security. It was survival. It was one of the foundations of an empire. Then came the 16th century. Spanish explorers arrived in South America searching for gold and silver. Instead, they discovered something else: the potato. The Spanish brought this strange new crop back to Europe, but Europeans didn't welcome it immediately. Many people distrusted the potato. Some believed it was poisonous. Others thought it caused disease. Because it belonged to the same plant family as deadly nightshade, many people refused to eat it. For decades, potatoes were grown mainly as animal feed or ornamental plants. Kings couldn't convince their people. Scientists couldn't convince them either. Fear was stronger than facts. But gradually, people realized something important. Potatoes were incredibly productive. They produced more food from less land than many grains. They were easy to grow, they were nutritious, and they could feed entire families. Slowly, opinions began to change. The potato had finally found its place in Europe. As potato farming expanded, food supplies became more reliable. Countries like France, Germany, Britain, and Russia encouraged farmers to grow potatoes. Harvests increased. Food shortages became less common. Families could feed more children. Communities grew larger. Populations increased rapidly. Many historians believe the potato played an important role in Europe's population boom. Some even argue that it helped create the conditions for the Industrial Revolution. Factory workers needed affordable food. The potato provided it. Cheap, nutritious, reliable. Sometimes history isn't changed by kings or armies. Sometimes it's changed by what people eat. But history also reminds us that dependence on a single crop can be dangerous. In the 1840s, disaster struck Ireland. A deadly plant disease called potato blight spread across the country. Healthy fields turned black almost overnight. The potatoes rotted beneath the ground. For millions of Irish families, potatoes were their primary source of food. When the harvest failed, hunger spread rapidly. The Irish Potato Famine became one of the worst humanitarian disasters of the 19th century. Around 1 million people died. Another million left Ireland in search of a better life. Many emigrated to the United States, Canada, Britain, and Australia. The famine permanently changed Ireland's population. It also reshaped the cultures of countries that welcomed Irish immigrants. A tiny fungus had altered the course of history. It remains one of the most powerful reminders of how deeply humanity depends on agriculture. As the centuries passed, potatoes continued spreading around the world. Today, they are grown on every inhabited continent. They appear in thousands of recipes. French fries, potato chips, baked potatoes, mashed potatoes, potato salad, curries, soups, stews. Each culture has made the potato its own. In South Asia, potatoes became an essential ingredient in many traditional dishes. In Europe, they remain a staple food. In North America, they became one of the symbols of modern fast food. One humble crop connected cultures across the globe. Today, the potato is the world's fourth largest food crop after maize, wheat, and rice. Its journey from a remote mountain region to nearly every country on Earth is one of the greatest success stories in agricultural history. Today, potatoes remain one of humanity's most important food sources. Scientists continue developing new varieties that resist disease, survive drought, and produce larger harvests. Modern farming techniques allow potatoes to be grown in climates that were once considered impossible. Researchers are even studying whether potatoes could help feed astronauts during future missions to the Moon and Mars. After thousands of years, the journey of the potato is still unfolding. It continues to adapt, just as humanity does. The potato may look ordinary, but its story is extraordinary. From the mountains of South America to dinner tables around the world, it has fed civilizations, influenced migration, supported economic growth, and shaped human history. It reminds us that history isn't only found in castles, battles, or famous leaders. Sometimes, history is sitting right on our dinner plate. Every ordinary object has an extraordinary past, and every story begins somewhere. Thank you for watching The History of. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to subscribe, because next time we'll uncover the history of something else you probably use every single day.